All right, welcome back to the Vendetta Sports Fantasy Show. Today is Thursday, July 16th. We're doing a doubleheader. If you haven't seen the trivia show that was released today, make sure to do that as well. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're getting closer to 100. We've got 82 right now.
82. 18 more. Let's go.
Working our way through. We have Scott Logush, Alex Chick. What's going on today?
Not much. This is our second video. We're rocking and rolling today.
Second video. We're ready. Let's go.
I got too much shit to do, I swear. I'm going to take a break from the site in like 5 minutes, and then it's like 4 hours later. So here we are, more work for the site. We do have news, but I'm not even going to get into it. Derrick Henry got an extension. Doesn't mean anything for fantasy. So
yeah,
we have a good show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some quarterback stuff here, but first, opening topic, who is the one player in fantasy you will not draft because you are concerned about injury history? Scott, what do you have here?
AJ Green.
Bruh.
Let me guess, was that your pick, Alex?
Yeah, that was my pick. Go ahead. You're good,
We've been doing this a lot.
Yeah.
So in the past 3 seasons, AJ Green has played only 25 games, and he's only ever played a full season in 4 out of his 9 years in the league. And we've been over this multiple times with fantasy. Availability is often the best ability. And AJ Green, he's had a history of being injured, whether it be nagging injuries, serious injuries, like this last year. Just this nagging ankle injury that just kept keeping him off the field. It's always like, oh, next week. Never saw the field. You don't want to fall into that trap, so I'm staying the fuck away from AJ Green.
Can I do a counterpoint?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or unless Alex wants to go.
No, I want to listen to your counterpoint first.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Do we forget that AJ Green was drafted ahead of Julio Jones? This is a player that was one of the best wide receiver prospects to ever come out of the draft. And if he goes to anywhere but Cincinnati, are we saying Julio Jones is better than AJ Green? I'm not saying we're not saying that. But Julio Jones got Matt Ryan. AJ Green got Andy Dalton. So for the first time in his career, he's probably going to get a quarterback who I don't even like Joe Burrow. He's, for the first time in his life, going to get a quarterback better than Andy Dalton. Isn't that something?
Yeah, but we're talking about injury concerns.
Yeah, but that has no relevance to his injury history.
Yeah, I was like,
I get it. But let's say the scenario out there is he's healthy. Why can't he have an awesome year?
I'm not saying he can't, but the whole part of injury history. I'm looking at his injury history because he's played a full season 4 times out of 9 opportunities. Last year he didn't play a single game.
So he's due.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, maybe, but like he has to stay healthy. And
He hasn't proven he can stay healthy.
To the matter, just to play devil's advocate, though, like he could have been like, "Oh, my ankle still hurts because he doesn't want to play with Andy Dalton." That's totally that might be a conspiracy
Not even that.
in the works.
Last year was Ryan Finley.
Yeah, so
There was no reason for him to come back last year.
That might be a conspiracy theory on his own, but I'm with Scott though. Like, you know, he's had nagging injuries, and it's just like, you know, he might be able to play this year, but I'm not drafting him as one of the best. You just said he's one of the best wide receiver prospects. I'm not drafting him that high. If he's available when I'm on my bench and I have everyone on my team already taken care of, yeah, why not? But I'm not taking a chance on him if he's, you know, if I'm not even sure if he's going to be on the field. Been burned too many times like that.
I had AJ Green on my team last year, for the record, for $31.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
That's a big yikes, man.
Well, technically, I already had him signed. I signed him the year before, and he was good the year before.
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah, he was good the year before. He got hurt, but he was good when he played.
He got hurt.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
He got hurt.
My pick is Alshon Jeffrey. And you could make the argument that Alshon Jeffrey's the number 1 wide receiver, but there are reports that he's going to start the year on the PUP list. What's the point in drafting the guy if he's not going to be ready for the first 6 weeks of the year? Philadelphia has done nothing but try to improve their receiving corps. Jalen Reagor. They draft Quez Watkins and John Hightower, and Deshaun Jackson should be able to come back. They got 2 good tight ends. Where does this leave Alshon Jeffrey? And last year, even when he played, he looked like a deer that got shot. He couldn't move. And he had a Liz Frank injury, and they're saying it's like a very long time to recover, and he might not play for a long time. So that is my pick. I would definitely 100% not draft him. I don't care how late it is or what the price is.
Yeah, let me tell you, I always forget about Alshon Jeffrey because I literally had no idea what team he still played for. That's how irrelevant he's been because of injuries, and you know what? He just hasn't been very productive regardless. I forgot he was in Philly. I even looked up the Eagles wide receivers last night for something else, and then I forgot that I didn't even see Alshon Jeffrey's name up there. That's how irrelevant he's going. It's like he's not even showing up in web searches anymore. So to me, he's totally irrelevant. I'm totally with you. Alshon Jeffrey is totally undraftable.
Scott?
No complaints here. He hasn't been healthy, and he hasn't been extremely productive even when he does.
All right. Make sure to check us out, vendettasportsmedia.com. We're going to be talking quarterbacks today. Follow Scott for SLogush52. Chicks Tape Pod. I already said it once today.
Yeah, it's all right. We don't have to say it twice.
Trey Daubert for myself. Let's get right into it here. We're going to talk about bounce-back quarterbacks. So these are players that maybe had a down 2019, but you're projecting they have a really strong 2020 season, somebody you can buy low here and get great value for. So, Alex, what do you have here for your pick number 1?
We've been talking about this, but I'm gonna stick with Baker here, Baker Mayfield. I'm not giving up on him yet. This is probably the last year. This is the last year, but I'll give up on him if he doesn't perform this year. But this year has to be the year. He's got a better offensive coordinator, Nick Chubb. They're going to give the ball to Nick Chubb. That's going to open up passing for Baker Mayfield. Odell and Jarvis can still play football. I mean, that's not – it's like, you can say what you want about them, but they can still play football a little bit. I don't know. This is last year for Baker to actually make some noise. I think he has a good situation to do that now. It's just going to be – it's going to be hit or miss.
See, I view this so much different than everybody else because I think people actually thought Mayfield was a good prospect. I said in my draft notes, if everything goes right, he's Kirk Cousins, and I think his medium range is probably Case Keenum. So when he's performing like the way he did last year, this was not a surprise to me. So I wasn't surprised at all how he performed last year. Having said that, his team and his surrounding pieces are so good that he could have a Case Keenum Vikings type season.
Yeah.
So I think it is a hard one to project.
It is, but I'm. This is the last year. And I swear I'm off the stuff for good after this year. I'm off the stuff. There's no more. I'm not doing it no more after this year.
Scott?
So one of my picks was Baker Mayfield.
There we go. Great minds think alike. There we go.
Exactly. Simply because the supporting cast around him is too good for him not to have a bounce back year. It has to be impossible for him to do as bad as he did last year. That's just an unrealistic expectation.
Scott, so I guess both of you guys went then.
Yeah. We're on it.
I'm going to go with my guy, Sam Darnold. And I am tired and sick of the disrespect this man gets constantly. I've had it. Last year, he finished as the quarterback 27 and missed 6 games. Alex, what was the Jets' record last year?
Not good. It was what? They finished out 7-9, didn't they? Yeah, they finished 7-9.
If I polled 10 random people and asked them what the Jets' record would be last year, nobody's saying 7-9. The perception around them would be, what'd they win? 4 wins? Would they have 5 wins? They didn't just go 7-9. Darnold went 7-6. His replacements lost the other games. So this is a guy who is not only has a winning record with this Jets team. He's carrying an offensive line that gave up 42% pressure rate, which was most in the league. He had a running back, Le'Veon Bell, who stinks. He averaged 3.1 yards a carry. He was statistically the single worst running back in the league outside of Peyton Barber. His number one wide receiver last year was Robbie Anderson. Oh, did they resign him? No, they did not. His tight end was something called Ryan Griffin. He did not make the Houston Texans roster. I'm tired of the disrespect that Sam Darnold gets. By the way, Alex, how old is Sam Darnold?
I couldn't tell you. I think he's like 22, 23.
Scott?
Late 21, early 22.
He is younger than Joe Burrow. He is 23 years old. Does Joe Burrow do that with the Jets this past year? Not a fucking chance. So I'm tired of the disrespect. And my man Darnold, while the Jets still suck, it looks like they should be even slightly better. Mekhi Becton, even if he's terrible, it's an upgrade. They added some guards. Rashad Perriman, maybe he helps. Hopefully Chris Herndon does something. I mean, at this point, I'm sure Frank Gore is maybe better than Le'Veon Bell, and he's 800 years old. Sam Darnold will finish better than quarterback 27, and this man gets no love, and I'm tired of it. Please respond.
I really like Sam Darnold. I always thought he was a good quarterback. Never understood people that said he sucked. I just realized you don't watch Jets game if you think
it is the single worst roster in the NFL. And I haven't once brought up Adam Gase.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another problem on its own. Let's not get into that. But I mean, he's a damn good quarterback. I don't see how people don't think he's that good. I mean, his team's terrible, sure. The Jets and
they're not just terrible.
Are terrible. Yeah,
I don't think they're like even remotely close to like the second worst team.
That's a fair point, but Sam Darnold's just that good, though. I mean, there's quarterbacks that have the it factor and they don't, and Sam Darnold, he has that it factor. He can change games by himself.
I agree with you that Sam Darnold is a phenomenal quarterback. My only question is, the only point I'll bring up is I don't know how well he's going to bounce back in terms of fantasy, because fantasy is heavily relied on production, and that comes from your supporting cast. As you said, the Jets have the worst roster in the NFL, and it's not even close, and especially on the offensive side of the ball because Rashad Perriman is their number one receiver. They have Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, who has stunk ever since he left Pittsburgh. Their tight end room is absolutely nothing to write home about. And that offensive line is still atrocious. Mekhi Becton has to prove that he's serviceable. Even if Mekhi Becton's serviceable, the rest of that offensive line is just atrocious. And given all those factors, I don't know how well Sam Darnold's going to be able to produce.
I agree with you, but my point is he was quarterback 27 last year. Like, that's really hard to, like, how bad is he going to be to not repeat 27? I don't see any reason why he can't be quarterback 20, even if things go bad for the Jets.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to be better than 27, that's for sure. Top 20, I think, it's pretty much set in stone. I feel like there's no way he can't improve, and that's after missing 6 games. So
4, I think, but same shit.
3.
Whatever, one of those. He missed games. And
he missed games. He missed time.
Yeah.
Then that's all that matters. I mean, so with missing games,
not to mention, who the hell knows how mono affected him? Because during the second half of the year, he was incredible.
Yeah, I know. He beat the Raiders 38-3. I know. I remember, or 35-3. I remember, and I'm like, what the fuck, So I know how good he is. I do.
Okay. Scott, you want to give your second pick here?
Sure. And before I do, I just checked right now. Per average, Sam Darnold was 26th in terms of fantasy points per game.
Yeah, he'll be better than that anyway.
He'll be better than that.
He'll be better.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. All right. So my bounce back is going to be Matthew Stafford. And this guy –
What, did you just look at all my shit earlier? Not even writing
Yes, I hacked
That's
your
why I
computer.
had to.
I hacked your computer to check your notes.
I know.
So what you're telling me, we all had Matt Stafford as our next pick?
I mean,
Yes.
what's not to like about the guy, man? I mean, he's got a decent, receiving core. Kenny Galladay was one of the best fantasy wide receivers last year.
Yep, just make all my points for me, Alex.
It's all right. I got you. And Lions defense is not that good. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Everything. Matthew Stafford's another quarterback that gets disrespected for no reason.
Shit.
I'll have to look this up. Did the Lions take Kansas City to overtime in the beginning of the year?
They did. No, it was
We
like
were
week
so
10.
close to winning that game. They are a goal line fumble away from winning that game and beating Kansas City.
That's Matt Stafford.
Is
Like,
so
Through
good,
eight games, he had 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
and 2,500 yards.
Yeah,
He
8 games.
At that pace, he was 5,000 yards. He would have hit 5,000.
Easy.
No doubt.
And also, going by per game average, he was the 4th best quarterback. Like, we're looking at totals, and it's like, oh, this guy, he was hardly in the top 32. Yeah, that's because he missed half the freaking season.
He could easily throw 40 touchdowns this year.
Oh,
I think
no
he
doubt.
can. I think
He could
can.
easily be a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year.
And the Lions' defense is horrendous.
Yeah.
He
Got
has
rid of
to
Darius
try
Slay.
to win games by himself.
He's got to win shootouts.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, there's nothing to like. I mean, nothing to dislike about Matthew Stafford. Another quarterback that gets disrespected for no reason.
Well, this segment went a little faster than I thought. I didn't think we would all pick the exact
We all
same
agree.
guy.
Hey, man.
Okay. Hopefully we get different answers for this one. This time we are going with who is a backup quarterback that you would actually want to draft because they are likely to be a fantasy breakout. Alex, go ahead.
My pick is Taysom Hill. Yeah. But that's just not because he's
Is he even a quarterback?
He is
More
a
of a
quarterback.
flex.
He's technically considered a quarterback. But, I mean, he can still play. He still plays wide receiver. He's one of those Swiss Army knives that plays everywhere. So why wouldn't you take this guy? I mean, yeah, he might not start at quarterback ever this whole year. I mean, Jameis Winston's going to get the start over him, but he's still going to he might get yards. He might get, carries. He might get touchdowns. You don't know. Taysom Hill is backup quarterback that's most fantasy relevant. Hell, I could take him right now, and he might give me some more points.
I think your point is interesting because I don't think a lot of people know this yet, but I'm pretty sure Taysom Hill has been giving wide receiver and running back tags for fantasy this year. So you can play him at something other than quarterback this year. I believe that's correct.
I love that.
I believe he's getting like flex tags, wide receiver, running back, and flex.
Love that.
So there are possibilities that what happens if Drew Brees goes down, Taysom Hill becomes the starting quarterback from the Saints, and you can play him at wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like what
Everyone else is fucked.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, why wouldn't you take Taysom Hill? Like, honestly, if you have your starting quarterbacks, I would put Taysom Hill and put him at quarterback for one of my, quarterbacks that has a bye week. Put him in there. He might get you some yards. Hell, you don't know. You might miss out on all the other quarterbacks, but you take Taysom Hill and you can put him at quarterback and he gets you points just because he can receive the ball. Hell yeah, give me that. Give me that.
Scott?
Case Keenum.
Oh, man. How do you – wait, weren't you on Baker's like, oh, he's going to bounce back? And now he's like, okay, Case Keenum. You got both sides covered.
Yeah, exactly. I can realistically see both sides playing out. And with Case Keenum, that miracle year he had in Minnesota, he had Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And like I said before, that Browns offense is loaded. And also, new general manager, new coach. They're not tied to Baker in any way. When a new general manager and or coach come in, you often see them say, if they struggle their first year, they'd be like, hey, this guy's not my quarterback. He's not my guy. John Dorsey and Freddie Kitchens, they were tied to Baker Mayfield. Kevin Stefanski, he doesn't give a shit. If Baker Mayfield succeeds, great. If he doesn't, it's not my guy. I need a different quarterback. They brought in Case Keenum. They signed Case Keenum. Kevin Stefanski can realistically go to management and say, look, I've won games with this guy. This guy can get it done. Let me put him in instead of Baker Mayfield because Case Keenum I'd rather have Case Keenum be my quarterback than Baker Mayfield. And also, Baker Mayfield last year was so bad he can be on a very short leash. We've seen this happen with the Browns and quarterbacks. If they struggle, they're put on a short leash. And so I can see Kevin Stefanski just yanking Baker Mayfield if he throws 2 or 3 interceptions and just being to Case Keenum, look, let's do this again. And then Case Keenum walks out and becomes a productive fantasy quarterback.
You know what's crazy? I think the range of outcomes for Baker is like all over the place, but I don't think it's possible he gets benched. That's what makes your pick crazy.
But you think Derek Carr gets benched? I hate that. Every week. I hate that. Okay.
You don't think it's impossible Baker gets benched?
No, he'll get benched. I think he'll get benched.
Yeah, I'm saying he absolutely could.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there was no way he gets benched. And I was what?
I'm saying in the range of outcomes, there is absolutely a chance that Mayfield could get benched this year.
Yeah, okay. We're on the same page now. Okay. I was like, that's not even fair. Like, how are you going to say Baker doesn't get benched, but Derek Carr gets benched? And that's a story for another time. But, yeah, that's fair. And Scott kind of alluded to it earlier, but Stefanski and Case Keenum have history in Minnesota. He was the quarterback's coach there. So, I mean –
good kind of history.
Yeah, the good kind of history, too. Like, yeah, they just – they know the schemes or whatever. And so – There's obviously a chance that Baker Mayfield by week 4, if he's playing so bad, Case Keenum might just start.
All right, my pick is for kind of a similar reason, but I'm going to go with the other Saints backup quarterback, Jameis Winston, who last year finished as quarterback 5 on the season. He enters a Saints situation that while he doesn't have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, I think the Saints is a better situation. Sean Payton is one of the best head coaches in football, never seems to get the credit he deserves. I think we forget Drew Brees was not Drew Brees without Sean Payton. Sean Payton's done a lot for him. Teddy Bridgewater, undefeated last year. Teddy Bridgewater has never looked better. I think Sean Payton's a really good head coach. And with Winston, it's just coaching. Let's just figure it out. Yeah.
Or seeing.
Or seeing.
Yeah.
So my pick would be Winston. If Breeze goes down again and Winston gets the job, give me all that.
Yeah, I like that. Because it's very possible that Breeze just has another – he's old. No one beats Father Time. So.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Love that.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Slide.
Guy you never heard of. Guy you never draft. Somehow, some way, he will win you your fantasy league. Scott, go ahead.
Ryan Nall.
No idea.
Ryan Nall. He's a quarterback.
No.
No. He's the Oregon State white running back.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
What team does he play for?
That's a good question. I was thinking of Craig Nall, the quarterback. Who does he play for? I have no idea. He didn't get drafted. I know that.
I don't know
he
who
was
it
a
is.
UDFA 2018. He is a running back for the Chicago Bears.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
Because we've been over this on the show. The Bears don't have a great running back room. Like Tariq Cohen, he's not built to take between the tackles carries. I'm sorry, he just isn't. And David Montgomery, he's nothing special. But if we take a look at Ryan Nall, 6'2", 233, that build has power back written all over it. In college, in 2 years as a running back, because his freshman year he played tight end. In 2 years at running back, he has 21 rushing touchdowns over 2 years as a running back. For his career, he has 24 rushing touchdowns. He has 2,216 total college career rushing yards, and that's with a third of his career being at tight end. The Bears can realistically put this guy in, give him a handoff between the 5 and the goal line. Just tell him, look, put your head down, run through the pile, score a touchdown, and that can happen. Tariq Cohen isn't built for that. David Montgomery isn't good enough. Ryan Nall has the size for it, and he's perfect for that role.
Oregon State. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Chicago has a chance to bring the ball to the goal line for that to happen? Yeah. That's another thing you got to worry about, too. But, yeah, I like the pick. Never heard of him. But
Coming in strong. I like that one.
Even if they don't get between, like, near the goal line, they're going to be run heavy, whether it's Mitch Trubisky or Nick Foles. They're going to need this power guy to just bruise through a few people to crank out those ugly yards and ugly touchdowns.
Look at that.
I like that.
Go ahead, Alex.
All right. Mine is a tight end. His name is Virgil Green.
Oh, I've heard that name.
That's Chargers.
Well, I don't know. He has not been productive. Let's say that, okay?
It's kind of a blocking tight end.
Not necessarily. He can
justify your pick, Alex.
Well, I'm just saying that Hunter Henry has he's had his history of injuries. There's obviously a chance that Hunter Henry will miss a couple games. He hasn't played a full season in his entire career. And so there's a chance that he doesn't do that. And Virgil Green just has one of those games where he just pops off in the absence of Hunter Henry. That's pretty much all my thing was. But, blocking tight end or not, it could still happen.
All right. I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle.
This is another fucking kicker. I'm tired of kickers. Okay.
This is not a kicker. What team is he?
He hasn't had a kicker in a while.
Rico what?
Dowdle. Dowdle.
Bills.
Nope.
I don't know.
What position does he play?
Running back.
What?
Dallas Cowboys. He is an undrafted running back out of South Carolina. Mostly he suffered with injuries. When he's played, he's been okay. Averaged over 5 yards a carry in college, which is a decent number. And the biggest thing here is everything rides through Zeke Elliott. But what happens if Zeke Elliott is not on the field? What happens if he gets hurt? I think Tony Pollard is kind of a utility guy.
I was gonna say, so you don't like Tony Pollard? Trey?
Oh, he doesn't.
By the way, there's a hilarious post on our website about Tony Pollard. You can.
I remember that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When I put people in body bags because they somehow said he wasn't a running back. So you can go look that up if you want. But anyway, he's kind of a utility player. He can, third down back, catch some screens. He's not going to he's not going to be a primary runner if Zeke Elliott goes down for the year. Rico Dowdle has some good size to him, 215. Maybe he makes this roster because there is nothing else there. The only other guy there is Darius Anderson out of TCU, and I think he kind of sucks. So that's the only competition there, and he probably should make the roster. So there it is.
I don't know, man. Tony Pollard, he's a real good guy, real good player, man.
Can he get the ugly touchdowns?
Man, that shit makes me laugh. That shit was funny, though. This guy was really big on Tony Pollard he was like his biggest fan.
It wasn't even that. He was like, Tony Pollard's a wide receiver. Okay, bud.
Yeah, and it was listed everywhere that he was a running back. And he was like, even after that, he was like, no, but they lined him up all over the field. And I was like, bitch, he's still a running back with rushing yards. Like, it was funny.
When his combine thing said RB on it, I just died.
Oh, man.
All right, that's the show for this week. Do we have any closing thoughts here?
I don't think so. I'm good.
Check out the store.
Oh, yeah.
Check out the store.
Good one, Scott.
Good call, Scott. We have some products on there. We have 5 shirt options right now. We have some koozies on there. All of the products are limited time only, so if you don't get it, you're screwed. There will be new designs constantly. So, check out the store.
Good call, Scott.
Also, promo code will be dropping during the next episode of That's Some Cheese. So people that listen to the podcast will get a discount on the store. But you're only getting the discount if you listen to the podcast.
You gotta listen to it. It's good stuff though. It's not like you're just there for the code, man. It's good stuff.
And you're helping support the site. So
hell yeah, that's all it's all about.
All right, that's gonna do it. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, vendettasportsmedia.com. We always have good content on there. Until next time, we will see you soon.